With my years of experience on guitar, I can tell you the most overlooked thing by beginners and intermediates is rhythm. When I was one of these people that overlooked it, my playing always sounded like something was wrong, even if my notes were correct, because I didn't have proper rhythm on guitar or going through my head. So here's what I would do from any stage of guitar to learn rhythm properly. The first thing you have to know is there's a whole note, which lasts a whole bar, which in a normal time signature sound is like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, and a half note, 1, 2, and a quarter note would be 1, 2, 3, 4. And of course, you can do this weird thing where you add a dot, which adds 50% of this duration to that. So basically, it's like 3/4 notes. 1, 2, 3, 4. And a whole half quarter is super easy, which is where we get into subdivisions of quarter notes that you are going to see all the time. The furthest you're usually going to see go down, unless you get into really fast, shreddy music, is 16th notes, which come from an 8th note, which come from our normal quarter note. And having them played out on a quarter of a measure would be 1 and 1 and 1 E and A, and that is the duration of each of those notes. So to get into our first exercise, you're going to put on a metronome or use your voice and count out 1, 2, 3, 4 at a consistent pace, and then play each of those subdivisions going from whole note to 16th note. Here's an example of how you practice that. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 E and A, 2 E and A, 3 E and A, 4 E and A. And that's how you count out each note and play it like that. You just play that up and down until you get it burned in your brain. And then you start putting together unique patterns such as quarter note, half note, quarter note, like this. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And just play around doing that, making really simple phrases. And you can even leave in rest notes, which is just 1, 2, 3, 4. Super simple. And once you've mastered just that really basic putting things together, having it being counted off by a metronome and your voice to build that internal metronome, you're now going to learn about that thing I shadowed earlier, which was dotted notes. So let's say we have 1/8 and we add 50% of 1/8, which would be 1/16. We then get 3/16. So if we get a 8th note with a dot, that means we have to add a 16th note to its duration. And count it out, that sounds like 1 E and A, 1 E and A. Of course, the same rule applies to literally any other note duration, quarter note, half note, whole note, all of it. Our final thing for this basic overview is a triplet, where you can either take a quarter note and divide it into a 8th note pattern that's actually 3 equally timed notes, like triplet, 1 triplet, 1 triplet. But like I said, you can also divide an 8th note into a triplet too. And that triplet would just be twice as fast as that one because it's in the twice as quick subdivision. And that is how you can subdivide something into thirds, and it's used in a lot of funkier and jazzier type of stuff. And it's super simple once you get it down and just learn to count it 1 triplet, 1 triplet, 1 triplet. It's really simple once you just practice that on the guitar neck and with your voice. And another really awesome tool I'm going to give to you before this video ends is actually just this thing I saw online, which is a food rhythm chart, which is the exact way I learned how to phrase and do literally everything when my rhythm was absolutely shot, because it was so easy to go back to kindergarten words like fucking grape soda and pizza to learn rhythm instead of 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So I have to do the very basics, actually incorporate that preschooler food chart, and it's fucking easy. Of course, for all these practices, you still need to make sure to use your voice and a clicker for a metronome. I didn't stress this earlier, but when you use your voice, it helps build an internal metronome. So when you're playing with the drummer, it's a lot easier to think about what's going on along with them playing, because a drummer is not as perfect as your metronome. So to keep everything the exact way you want it when you're on stage and sounding cool, you need this built. And of course, for more valuable guitar content that's easy to digest and simple, teaches you everything from beginner to pro, subscribe for more content and comment the exact videos you want to see to learn guitar faster.